Today's episode of the GreeneScene Podcast is brought to you by Wayne Lumber and Supply, definitely your hometown hardware store in Waynesburg. Looking for quality lumber and supplies for your next project? We carry great lumber ready for pickup or delivery. Plus, Trex composite decking for that new deck you've been dreaming about. And with our deck display, you can choose the perfect color and coordinate handrail with confidence. For more information, stop by today or call 724-627-3171. Wayne Lumber and Supply. So much more than just lumber. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the GreeneScene Podcast. We're going to have some fun today. We're in the height of the gardening season. We've got growing going on, and we have got a special treat for you today because our guests today are with the Penn State Extension Master Gardeners of Greene County. I want to welcome you guys, Cheryl Brendel.
Hello.
Hello. And also we have John Areford.
Hello.
Hello, John and Cheryl. And my co-host today is TR Mahle. Hi, TR.
Hi, how are you?
Another big gardener and outdoorsman here. So, TR, what have you got growing in that garden of yours?
Actually, my garden is doing really well this year.
Good.
Tomatoes, I got them about, they're all golf ball size about now.
Good.
Zucchini's coming on good. Beans. Peppers are all over the place, so we got a good looking garden this year.
That's great. That's great. And you're handling the challenge and the battle with the critters and the bugs and the weeds.
Yes.
Good for
I
you.
recently retired, so I am able to put a lot more effort into the garden, which it was been lacking.
Mine's doing pretty good too. I've already eaten a couple of zucchinis. Yeah.
Good.
And peppers they're coming on. I could be picking them, but I haven't yet. But
Same
yeah,
here.
it looks
That's
good.
about the same with me.
Well, for everybody out there who's a gardening enthusiast or just like to learn, and it doesn't matter whether we're talking about vegetables or horticulture of any type, flowers, we have an extremely wonderful asset here in Greene County with the Master Gardener program. So we're happy to have you guys here. Tell us a little bit first of all, about yourselves. Let's go with you first, Cheryl. So where do you come from?
I'm originally from Allegheny County,
Okay.
and when we got married, we moved down here to Greene County, and
Okay.
that was in 1983. Commuted to Pittsburgh to work, and retired in 2010, October 2nd, and October 4th, I started Master Gardener classes.
Oh boy, you knew what you wanted, huh?
So I was a volunteer for a couple years, and in 2013, I was asked to be the coordinator for the county.
Excellent. All right.
Yeah.
And that's what you still serve in that capacity?
I do. I'm part-time.
Okay. All right. John, what about you?
Well, I'm a native Greene Countian. I was born in Waynesburg at the Greene County Memorial Hospital, if anybody remembers. I've had so many name changes there.
Yeah.
Grew up in Carmichael's area.
Okay.
I got interested in gardening through the 4-H program. I don't know if anyone remembers Jay Eppinshay, who was the Greene County 4-H coordinator at that time.
I see TR nodding his head.
Yes, I do know it, Jay.
And really got interested in it. I come from a farming and gardening family. My grandmother and my mother probably most of all influenced me the most because they grew about everything in their garden back then. That was self-sufficiency. So that really impressed me. And today I'm retired. I taught 34 years in the education business.
At one of the local schools here?
No. Well, when I got out of the service, I had, at that particular point in time, I was in social studies, and social studies teachers were a dime a dozen. So I went back to school and became a reading specialist.
Oh, okay.
But I'd substituted in several Greene County schools, but I wound up at Bentworth, where I taught for about 28 years.
Well, that's good. We're sure glad that you're continuing to teach through this Master Gardeners program, I'm sure. Tell us about it, when it started, what it is. Who you guys take it?
Well, it actually started in Pennsylvania, in Greene County in 1991.
Okay.
When I took over in 2011, we had 31 names on the books.
31 Master Gardeners who had completed the program.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
It got a little strange because there was a turnover at Penn State at that time, and the rules got much more strict.
Okay.
And there were more rules put in place. And I went in and cleaned up the books, and then we had 8.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm really proud to say now we have 20.
Great.
We've grown quite a bit since
So we're
then.
going in the right direction
We
and in
are.
the right way.
And we sure need some more.
Oh boy. Well, maybe we can gather some here, folks. Listen up. Let's tell me about what the program exists, why it exists, and what it does for the community.
It's actually an outreach program for Penn State. They want to make sure that people are given science-based knowledge. They want to be a steward to the environment. You know,
Okay.
we have a lot of problems with pollinators and a lot of other things right now that we're trying to get the word out to
The general public
to
about
the
what
general
they can
public.
do. Yeah.
You're right.
So, was I correct in my description of anything horticulture? Is that pretty an environment? Apparently, also wild. It doesn't have,
We
to, it
handle-
doesn't have to be cultured.
We handle a
environment.
lot of different areas besides that. We have folks can call in to the extension office, and they'll farm out the question to some of our members to answer the questions. Also, as Cheryl pointed out, we have several outreach programs that we do. Cheryl runs the Seed to Supper program that's through Bowlby Library, and I think we have one maybe starting up with the food bank later on this year if we get enough folks interested in doing it.
Okay.
And then we also have several programs where we engage the young children. We have the poison prevention program that we do every March through the elementary schools of first grade. And then usually in the end of May or beginning of June, we have the Tiny Tim tomato program
Oh, yes, I
that we
remember
do
that, yeah.
for younger children that we do through the Bowlby Library and Flanagan Library in Carmichael's.
Okay. Well, let's talk about a couple of those programs. The poison one. Tell me about that.
Well, poison prevention is something that's statewide. And what it does is, and we're finding more as we go out and talk, that a lot of parents aren't cautioning their children about prevention.
Okay.
And it started with Mr. Yuck, if you remember that,
Yes.
maybe, back in 1971. A lot of the ER doctors at Children's Hospital were noticing there was a lot of children coming in with poison. So they got a bunch of elementary kids together, and they said, kids, we have to come up with something that will encourage the people and children to stay away from certain type things. So they developed Mr. Yuck.
The little stickers.
Yeah.
There was a green sticker or
Yeah, I
something,
remember.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the kids get that because they think of yuck because it makes them think of, and I don't want to say this, but vomit from the green stuff. And the kids enjoy that part of it for some reason. You remember
Well,
as kids, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's what we try to do. I'm trying to think of the program through Penn State that we have a sort of a show and tell on a screen, and we go through and tell kids about it.
Okay.
And the amazing part of that thing is that the kids love to tell you, and that's something that we try not to encourage them to do because you get some of it's like the old Art Linkletter show. Kids say the darndest things. So if we ask them for questions, first thing we know, they're talking about what their mother or their grandfather is doing that we don't want to hear about. So that raises some humorous moments.
Yeah.
And then with the Tiny Tim program, we do the same thing with encouraging children to become aware of where their food comes from,
Right.
how to grow it, and whatnot. Try to build a lifetime education program for them to be involved with growing their own food.
Yeah.
I kind of got tired of hearing our food comes from the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a wonderful thing too that you're teaching that, because it is sad to hear that and they don't know. I mean, how would they if nobody ever teaches them and they don't live in an area where it's obvious, you know? So it's not limited though just to plants, right? Then in other words, we talk about a lot of things about our environment and helpful things for education.
Each spring we do a spring seminar,
Okay.
and it's cheap. It's $10. We do 3 different topics related to horticulture or gardening. Actually, we use topics that are suggested on our evaluation so that we can get new topics that people might be interested in.
Right.
Where do you do those at?
We do that at the fairgrounds, 4-H building.
What are some of the topics?
Well, we did native plants.
Native plants.
We
okay.
did pollinators. We have 2 Master Gardeners right now that are involved in statewide studies. One is bee monitoring, and that's bees other than honeybees, because everybody just thinks of honeybees, but our other bees are more important. And another one is doing a study on squash and what bees are attracted to squash.
Squash? Mm-hmm. Oh.
And there is one bee that just hones in on squash plants in particular. And it's sort of like a small bumblebee, I think, type thing. And that's all they do is go around looking for squash plants. And they're a heavy pollinator for that.
That's
so
good.
that's the reason why you always have a lot of zucchini that's in the overflowing. 'Cause
yeah.
You've got a busy bumblebee out there working the plants.
Sure enough, yeah.
Actually, the study won national honors this year
Did it.
for
So
identifying bees that nobody knew existed.
nobody even knew there were bees like that.
It's hard to believe this day and age.
I know.
Something exists that nobody knows about.
That's right. We also have a couple of master gardeners that are interested in kids projects like teaching amphibians. They do crafts and they put like dragonflies together and teach them about dragonflies. And we Sandy did one on frogs for amphibians and using little green Easter eggs, and they made frogs and toads. And she taught them about those and the importance of any kind of pollinator.
So tell me about frogs. I didn't know that frogs were pollinators.
Well, they are in the water and control some of the insects in the water, like mosquitoes and other things.
Oh, okay. That's how
So
they play their part.
They play. People think of pollinators as just somebody who goes to a flower and grabs
Right.
some pollen, but there are other ways. I mean, so many times I ask people not to swat at the wasps and hornets because they're great pollinators,
Yeah.
and they usually only attack you if you bother them.
Yeah. That's true.
I got a big bubble when it comes to wasp and stuff.
I do. I have a bee sting right here, but
I'm in
wasp,
the emergency room.
yeah, but I understand. I mean, there's that all through our environment, our natural habitats for things that we tend to encroach upon, and it disturbs the cycle of things. You know,
Right. I mean, there's so much advertised about the growing environment with lack of land for pollinators. People paving things and construction everywhere, and habitat is lost.
Yeah.
And we really need to work on improving that. And another big problem is the use of pesticides. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's horrible how people just grab a pesticide and spray and don't even think about, I want to get rid of that bad guy, but boy, I'm really getting rid of the good guys.
Or endangering their habitat too. Same with herbicides.
Right.
Yeah. I live in Wetzel County, West Virginia, and we just ended a 100-year moratorium on coal mining down there. It's been very peaceful until then. Anyway, now there's right in my area, I live near 100. There's clearing of the land in preparation for putting in a mine there, and a big one. And it's so. I love the idea of employment and jobs. I as long as it's done responsibly, I feel like there's a good and bad. But boy, when I look out there and I see hundreds of acres of woodland, forest, all completely naked and nude right now, that I'm thinking, man, what kind of a change is that going to have on my habitat? And let me tell you what I've noticed. I know a little off here. I'll get into this. We haven't, and where I live, it hasn't happened yet, right on my ridges and mountains. We have about 500 acres, but it's very close to us where it has happened. And I got more bears than I've ever had on my property. I think they're coming there because it hasn't been disturbed yet. Yeah. They may have been around before, but we put out some game cameras and get some wonderful shots. Saw a mama bear the other day with 3 cubs. 3. Isn't that something? Anyway, had to throw that in there, a little brag in here. So let's go back to Penn State, though, and back to the Master Gardeners program. So you said it started in 91. And when did you went in 20, when did you say you got your, 93 or something? Yeah.
I joined, I think it was in 2015, I think.
Okay.
I got a phone call from Cheryl. And actually, I think what it sparked from, one year I had problems with tomato blight.
Okay.
And I was just wondering, I had some beautiful Abraham Lincoln tomatoes that were starting to produce good tomatoes, and all of a sudden the plants just blackened and started dying.
Oh.
And I didn't know what was going on, so I called the extension office. And at that time, I think they passed the call off to someone in Washington County. And she got back to me, and she says, the first thing you got to do is pull all those plants up because it'll spread to any
other healthy or any other things.
I hated to do that, but I bagged them all up and threw all those tomatoes away. And I had tears in my eyes because all the blood, sweat, and tear putting into it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
So it was shortly after that, I think my name must have been passed from the extension office, and I received a call from Cheryl asking me if I'd be interested. So I went in for the interview, and I thought this is what I'd like to do because I enjoy talking with people and learning stuff. to me, Master Gardener title is a little misnomer to me because I'm used to being the jack of all trades and master of none. And that's what I feel with gardening. It's an ever-learning process because every year brings new challenges.
True.
And particularly with our, I know it's not politically correct to talk about climate change, but I've noticed a big change from when I was gardening as a child to what I'm seeing now in the garden in the way of different species of insects that's coming. One of the things, I don't know if you've heard of the jumping fishing worm that's coming into our area.
I haven't. Have you, TR?
No, I have not.
And
heard
we've
that.
had a lot of the other insects that's coming from Asia that's coming in.
Yeah, I know a few of those.
This jumping fishing worm that's coming in, it's actually doing damage to our earthworms, who we really need to work the soil underneath.
Right, they're wonderful for that.
And so that's something that I think we have to worry about, is this invasion that's coming in. A lot of times it's like the spotted lanternfly that we've got now.
Right.
I have seen those.
Have you not in our area though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right
they're
here?
here now, yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't think we've got them in the large quantities like I've seen in other
yeah.
counties.
Right now they're just starting to
They're starting in our area.
come out from the instar to a spotted lanternfly. But we've had them in the area for 2 years now.
Not only insects, but we've gotten from the same causes. We have
invasive plants.
plants. The barberry now is all over. I can't, and it's bad. I mean, we've battled multiflora rose for years, and autumn olive and things like that. But the barberry it's getting invasive too right now. Those are the three that I deal with mostly. Yeah, so there's a lot of need for education, and as you say, it changes what the knowledge is and the available information changes.
How does someone go about becoming a master gardener?
Well, we start programs in the fall, and it's a program that lasts from October to March. It's actually broken down into 2 sessions, almost like going to college for 2 terms. We are now using an award-winning Master Gardener manual that was created by our former state coordinator. All the classes are Thursday evenings on Zoom. If you
that's wonderful. You can do it from home if you need to.
If you miss it, you'll have access to the recording.
Okay.
The benefit of going to it, of course, is that you can put questions in get them answered at hopefully the same time.
Where is that held?
Well, it's a
If
Zoom.
you want to go to it.
Oh,
You do it at your house.
Oh,
It's all
okay.
Zoom.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's at home.
not a physical place to go to.
Right. However, we do, because there's 67 states or counties in Pennsylvania, and each one has a little bit different temperature, a little bit different soil, whatever. So each county actually does hands-on meetings with students a few times during that training, just to say, okay, that's what they do there, but this is what we do here.
so the training program is effective in all the counties, same program. You do it by Zoom. But you meet as a
classes.
county, or the classes, but you meet occasionally during that training period so that you can talk specifically.
Sure,
about-
I have an orientation where I talk about all the projects we do and say, okay, this is something that might be interesting to you. Some people like to work with kids. Some people don't like to work with
Right.
kids. Some people like to write articles. Some people don't like to talk. There's so many things that we're involved in. There's a niche for you.
Yeah. So it's every Thursday night from October through March or something like
Well,
that?
they stop for the holidays.
Well, yeah. I know,
There is a
but-
midterm and a final.
Okay.
You have to pass by 80%, and I make sure everybody passes.
Oh, good. She's your tutor if you need it. Yeah.
Other than that, the requirement is to become certified is that you have to do a project, and that could be writing a paper, doing a teaching poster, doing a presentation. 3 of the girls actually went and as their project and redid the native flower beds in front of the rabbit and goat building at the fairgrounds.
Okay. Yeah.
So the project and volunteering, first year you do 50 hours of volunteering.
And that can be through the Tiny Tim program
Yeah.
or through whatever.
And even coming to our meetings counts.
Okay. You have meetings. How often do you guys meet?
Monthly.
Monthly? Okay. Right.
And we try to have them in the winter during a daytime hours because we have some elderly who don't like to drive, including me. And then usually Thursday evenings when it's light outside.
Well, they got used to that during the
Sure.
training. Yeah, right.
Sure.
in the
So-
summertime. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like this, what we're doing right now and talking about it and sharing this knowledge with the general public would count as volunteer hours. And I know you guys have written articles. Several of you have written articles for the GreeneScene magazine. That would be something that would be your volunteer.
Right.
Fit the need. And if you get somebody like John who has this particular problem and he wants help with it, and you work with him, or he comes and shows you what it is, or whatever, you go see his problem if you want, that would count as volunteer hours, right?
Right. There are certain restrictions, like we're not allowed to go to people's houses.
Oh, okay. I guess that could get...
That's a legal thing, I'm sure.
It could also be cumbersome.
Yeah,
with it too.
but we're open to sending us pictures. But we do get calls, and if we can't answer them, we have resources. And that's the main thing I want to say about the Master Gardener program is that master title is terrible, I think, because I think we're just gurus. And the reality is, the more you take the course, the more you realize, and you can attest to this, that you don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
But you
and
have
I took
the
the course
resources.
in 2010, and lots of things have changed since then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah,
But you do have
ongoing.
good resources, and we can even email the instructors at Penn State.
Right.
So that's another benefit. We can send samples up to them. It's a good thing.
It is. That's the extension office is for that. As we kind of spoke a little before before we started talking, it is an extension of that university for your community. So you have access to really anything that the university offers through that office. I think that is, people aren't quite aware of that. I think they don't understand that the extension is an arm of the university, and that you can contact or have the extension office contact professors, program coordinators, whatever, at the university.
And I don't think they realize it's free.
And it's free. There you go. Yeah, that's a big, yeah.
Now, our course is not. The Master Gardener program is now $275 for the whole course.
For the whole course?
Including the textbook, which is by itself $75.
Oh, and you get to keep that.
You get to keep it.
So there's a resource already. Yeah, right.
Penn State, like many other states, the federal government established a land grant column. So all of the states have one particular university, and through those universities, a lot of them have the Master Gardener program as well.
Right.
So a lot of times, what we can't find on the Penn State website, you can find through other ones.
True. True. And they're accessible online.
Yes.
Most of them are on the web. So I've used that resource too. Yeah.
And we've worked together with both our 4-H coordinator, Dulcie, and our agronomist, Justin. He's done wonders in the county since he's been here. But they both represent other counties too. They're not full-time here.
But they're available to us.
But they're available.
Yeah, right.
And through the conservation side of it, can't remember his name right now, but he has the water conservation type thing. He runs a program, I don't know if they've done it recently, with people getting water barrels, making them together, and then catching rainwater.
Yeah.
And particularly with climate changing, we've been fortunate so far this year. We have lots of rain, but I can remember some past summers where we've had a pretty good drought for several months. So
yes.
every little drop we can wring out of the environment helps.
And that changed a lot of things about our environment. The drought 2 years ago, was it, or 3 now, the first real drought that we had changed the agronomy. It changed the insects. It changed what grew and didn't grow, obviously.
Right.
And the animals, the wildlife, what it came after and didn't. I mean, I saw deer and other wildlife eating things that they had never eaten before because they had lost so much of their, their dinner plate.
Yeah, I
through
lost
that
my
drought.
holly bushes this year thanks to them.
I know, isn't that something? and I mean, I know people that don't even like marigolds and the way they smell, but nothing ever used to bother marigolds. But during that year, they did. They were desperate. So let's talk about some of your own personal experiences with serving the community through your Master Gardener program or your own knowledge. What are some of the calls that you get,
Well, we've gotten calls for things that we can't help with. For example, there was a church that called me and said, "We're having an event. Can you come down and spruce up the place?" Well, that's not exactly our job.
That's not exactly the job, right? That's the garden club.
That's somebody else. Yeah. We've been doing a lot of work with the food bank.
Food bank, okay. They've got their garden now, right?
Well, 6 years ago, Waynesburg students built the raised beds for them.
I was working there volunteering when they did that. So that
Did you?
that was a
good
nice
deal, yeah.
Candace doesn't know much about gardening. She's the director there, but she had a dream of having a garden. So they built the beds, and we took over with planting. And every year, we did about 250 pounds of produce to add to their distribution.
Grown right there.
Grown right there.
Yeah.
However, 2 years ago, we had too many groundhogs and had nothing.
See, that was drought. That was drought season. They got worse. They got worse.
So we decided that we were going to war, and we created a special kind of fence and stuff to keep them out. And we're
Those beds were 3.5 feet off the ground.
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought of
they were
groundhog.
climbing in anyway.
Yeah.
So we put together a project, and we reinforced it. We put a low electric fence, and we're going to submit that for our Search for Excellent projects this year.
Okay, good.
One of the master gardeners who takes care of helps take care of the gardens actually went up to the garden and caught a picture of a groundhog actually staring at the fence trying to figure out how to get in.
Cool. It's like, you keep trying, bugger. It's a real sense of accomplishment when you got a fence that works. Because so often
But
they find their way.
that's a pretty good project. We have about 4 or 5 master gardeners who like to do that. So,
good.
And that's another project that you don't really have to intervene with the public if you don't want to.
True.
But you're still doing volunteer work, and you're representing Penn State Extension and the Master Gardeners.
And educating. I mean, each other and the other
occasionally we'll get
persons that are
volunteers.
volunteering there. Yeah.
And we'll teach them some different things, yeah.
What about you, John?
As part of the food bank type thing, too, we have several of our members raise tomatoes, and they also give out tomato plants at the beginning of the season to folks who are driving through the food bank so that they can take the tomatoes
Take it home and grow beside their patio or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's nice because a lot of elderly who used to farm can't do it anymore, so they can take home a tomato and put it on their patio or...
Yeah. And you know what? That makes people feel a little bit more self-sufficient too. Even when they can't do it like big time, but they can go out and pick. Well, what's better, TR, than a fresh tomato right off the vine?
Right off the vine.
Nothing.
Nothing better.
Beats that.
It beats the tomatoes that you get at the supermarket because
what are
they
those?
have no
You
taste.
really call them a tomato?
Actually, we've been fortunate to have donation of seed from a company, and we take those seeds also, and when we do the tomato distribution, we ask them if they would like some free seed.
Nice. Did you guys do a seed swap once or something?
We did a seed giveaway.
Seed
at
giveaway.
Bowlby.
Okay, at Bowlby? Okay, I thought I remembered hearing about
And
that.
a couple of the libraries, I don't know where they're Bowlby's, but I think Flanagan is starting like a seed catalog so people can come in.
That may
and
be
take
what I
seed.
read
Yeah.
about. Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Can you recall any strange or challenging interaction that you've had as a master gardener, something that surprised you or something that you had to shake your head and laugh, anything like that? The church was kind of on those lines, but yeah.
The big thing I do the poison prevention program.
Right.
And the kids, when I taught, was mostly high school age. And going down into the first grade, the elementary.
It's a whole different
little thing. Yes,
creature,
in fact,
isn't
that
it?
was one of the reasons why it hastened me to retire early because they were going to move my program down to the elementary level. And so, like Art Linkletter says, kids say the strangest things. And they want to learn. And they'll want to volunteer all the things that they've run into, particularly with insects. They'll talk about snakes that they've carried into the house that their mothers didn't want or
jeepers.
something like that. And they'll talk about being chased by bees and stuff like that. And we try to encourage them, what you shouldn't do is run.
Right.
Because the wind vortex that you build up behind allows the bees or whatever that's after you
That's
to follow
interesting.
right to you. I started out, a friend of mine started me out with bees. And so I had 2 hives that gradually got from this lady because her had swarms. Unfortunately, they went through that collapse a few years ago.
Yeah.
So I lost both hives. But that's one of the things that makes me, I like not only about honeybees, is I'm trying to encourage people to make some type of habitat for the wild bees they can formulate. You can buy them. They're pretty expensive online, or you can make them yourself. But you want to watch the kind of wood that you make them out of and drill certain kinds of holes because every bee has its own special hole that they want to put in. Like the wild bee that we have here, they'll, like a wasp, they'll tunnel into a piece of wood that they can find a hole, and they'll raise their young, and then they go off. And of course, they don't live all the time; they die out. You want to face that towards the south, so they get the morning sun for the young ones to hatch. And I like to explain to the kids about the wasp. I know a lot of folks don't like wasps, particularly yellow jackets as well, because I can remember my daughter. She has an allergy against them.
Oh, yeah.
She bumped into a bush when she was just growing up as a child, and she got stung, and her face swelled up so you couldn't even see her eyes.
Yeah.
Because she had a shock. So a lot of things that you learn in gardening that you bump into. I have trouble with the groundhogs a few years back. In fact, I got rid of about 25 of them because I humanely trapped them, and then I introduced them to some lead
The neighbor's
poisoning.
yard. Put them over to the neighbor's yard.
I only do that to rabbits. I guess you could call it humorous. I've caught a few skunks that way.
Oh, my.
And skunks do not appreciate being captured.
No.
So the first time that happened to me, I learned the wrong way to throw a tarp over top of my cage, and I got sprayed pretty good. And my wife wouldn't let me in the house until I had scrubbed down outside with a hose.
That didn't work
And
very well.
that
did it?
didn't work
Too
good after
good.
that. Even.
But the old tomato juice worked out.
Did that
right?
help? Yeah.
Yeah, I had some old V8.
Yeah?
Poured that over me pretty good. That seemed to soften me up so I could get into the house.
At least it smelled better up your nose.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yes.
anybody else's.
Cheryl, what is some of the actual content of the classes? I mean, I knew when I took it, it was pesticide, basic botany, building compost bins, plant diseases, and how to manage them, fertilizers, vegetable gardening, fruit tree, and then small farming. Is it still the same?
When I first started thinking about it, they had a course on lawns. And I thought, how in the
Lawn
what
care,
are they
yeah.
going to talk
What are they gonna
for
teach
2.5
me about a
hours
lawn?
on
Yeah.
lawn? And the guy gets up there and he says, well, I have to squeeze a term into 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So it gives you some in-depth. They do talk lawns. They do talk pruning more. They do plant diseases. Now they're doing house plants, and they didn't do those before.
When I took the class, I had just put in a 25 tree orchard. So the pruning and all that stuff was just, very important to me at that point. And it was so helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Apples or peaches or what?
I got 15 apple, 4 cherry, 2 pear, 2 peach, 2 plum.
Are they all still producing?
Except this year. We had a
frost
pretty
on
heavy
everybody.
frost
Oh, frost,
this
yeah,
year.
yeah.
So I got a few apples and peaches,
Yeah.
but not many.
Actually, there's 20 topics. I don't remember them all offhand to tell you.
No,
what they-
it's like I said, it's been a while since
Yeah.
I took that course.
Yeah.
So what do you apply your own knowledge to your own efforts? You've told us a little bit about. What about you, Cheryl? What do you grow at home
Well,
or take care of if it's
probably
wild?
about 20 years ago, we had 7,500 square feet of vegetable garden.
Oh, that's a lot.
Wow.
My husband passed away, and my family passed. Most of the ones I gave it to passed away, so now I just grow for me.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't go a year without putting some corn and tomatoes and
Yeah.
zucchini and watermelon and cantaloupe in.
I recall when my family first moved to West Virginia, we had a pretty big garden, great big garden, as a matter of fact. And what I think about now, we were talking about earlier, all these critters, groundhogs and deer and whatever they are. We grew that whole garden without a fence around it.
I know.
And I thought, well, now I can't. Why? I mean, we didn't have any fence at all, and we did not have nearly the trouble with it. But then I remembered that we had 2 dogs that lived outside, and that's what took care of it. And I've really, they were very good groundhog dogs. That's what we call them. I mean, I go out there and find dead groundhog almost every other day.
I find that being in the garden a lot deters a lot of
Just
stuff.
being there, out there?
Just
Yeah.
being in there,
Get your scent out.
Yeah. They don't like being around people, so they don't come and live there if you're there all the time.
Right.
And my father-in-law, who was also a gardener, he's since passed, but you're being out there makes me think of him. He'd go out every single day for various reasons, some depending on what he was doing, what took him. But one of the things he did every day, it would be go along with a bucket or a can, and he would pick off bugs, whatever it was, potato bugs or Japanese beetles or whatever it was. He'd pick them off and throw them in there into the water, or he used soapy water, and they would die in that.
That's exactly one of the things we tell the people in the Seed to Supper class.
Yeah.
Just take a walk.
Just take a walk, pick them off.
And another thing too, I think I can remember our garden because, as my mother used to say, she had 3 sons. I have 2 older brothers, so we always had a large garden because
You
to
guys could
feed.
eat.
Because my oldest brother, he could put some food away. I could tell you that.
Oh, just him, huh? Right, okay.
Yeah, just him. But I don't remember them. We ever had any trouble with deer.
Yeah.
Back then, of course, then the white-tailed deer population in Greene County was very small. In fact, you go deer hunting, you'd be lucky if you'd see even a doe. Whereas today, they're just rampant. My
Do you
mother
agree
has
with that, TR?
I just put that in an article that ran in last month's paper that my dad, I remember him telling me that a deer sighting would make the paper.
Yeah.
You would actually.
That was true about, I remember about turkeys too. They didn't hardly.
No, that they were in the early, in mid 80s. Turkeys started
coming
you
back
started
and
seeing
being-
them around
yeah.
here more.
I haven't
often,
seen the flocks though.
Not
that
like
they
we
were
did.
before.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because we have the increased
Coyotes, I think so,
population that's
probably.
keeping them down. Same way with pheasants. I know they used to release a lot of pheasants in the fall, but usually there'd be some residual ones left over, so that you would see a few hens nesting. Same thing with turkeys, but
Well, I
again,
remember when the turkey population got pretty big, bigger than it is right now. That's when the pheasants and the quail and the what's that other one that thunders away? Grouse
Ruffled
seemed to
grouse.
decrease, but and whippoorwills used to hear them every night. Now I'm beginning to hear them again. Has anybody? Have you?
Yes, I have.
I just beginning in the last couple years or so, but it seemed like a dearth of 10 or 20 years that we didn't hear them or see
I
'em.
just did an article in this month's paper actually about baling hay and the destruction that can do to nesting
birds, yeah.
turkeys, especially.
Yeah.
I've talked to several farmers that said, "Yeah, we hit a nest, or we hit a nest in this," and I have actually seen 3 different hens right around my house that, in the beginning, had a dozen chicks
Colts.
with them. Now they're walking around with 2, 3, or 4. So they've lost several chicks up to this point.
That's probably
They're
coyotes.
about chicken size now, a
Yeah.
large chicken. So these ones will probably make it, but they lost a lot of their little ones along the way.
Yeah.
and a lot of our natural insect eaters are also decreasing too. Songbirds are being decreased because of their habitat, and also feral cats have decreasing those. And I don't know about you folks, but I haven't seen a lot of snakes. Used to, I would find 4 or 5 garter snakes in my yard or around the flowers and whatnot. I haven't hardly seen any
I
of
haven't
those
seen
lately.
many this year.
And
I've
black
not seen-
snakes, there used to be the
Yeah,
big
used to see
gardener's
them pretty
friend.
often.
Don't see too many of those, except maybe whenever someone runs one across the road and they think they have to run over it.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the number of snakes that we used to have.
And you think that's because of what? The snakes. I mean, what's their the hawks are getting? I do see a lot of hawks.
Yeah.
It seems like I see more than I used to. The hawks and the eagles. Well, we have eagles now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of all goes back to what we said about how over time things change.
And it's what you've been, John. Habitat is changing around the area
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
There's less woodland area that used to be, and a lot of people keep their properties grown down, whereas sometimes farmers would leave some fields lay fallow for a while and not do anything with it. But, I guess
Yeah,
it's
there's-
changing times.
There's also a lot of lumbering going on too. They're taking
Well,
down
timbering.
trees.
That's true. A lot of that.
And
yeah.
that's a shame because the trees actually, almost every tree you see will have zillions and zillions of caterpillars. We don't see them. But it takes, if a chickadee has 2 babies, it takes 6,000 caterpillars to feed
those
them for 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness!
So people aren't realizing how important the trees are.
Yeah. Of course, I'm a opponent of clear cutting. That just. So if you do it, it's like so many things. If you do it as responsibly as you can, it's not so bad. We can work together with nature, and you know this because of the TR is with the Turkey Federation.
Yeah.
What's the gobblers? What are they called? Warrior
Wild
Trail.
turkey, yeah.
Warrior Trail gobblers. Yeah, and that's their one of their main things is environment and preserving it and conserving it. So we all need to work together. And I'm really happy that we have an asset like the Master Gardeners that can help educate people in that way. Once again, let's go over how you become one if you're interested. What step do you take?
We're accepting applications until September 25th. You can go online, or you can call the extension office and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Online, you'll just fill out everything, and then we'll have a meeting, and I'll do an interview with you to see.
If everybody's
for
on the same
example,
page.
the only people we really turn away is somebody who wants to be a Master Gardener because they want to post it at their business.
Oh.
And we don't allow that.
I see what you're saying, like if a greenhouse or something like
Right,
that, yeah.
right.
They're not into
we're not allowed to do
working
that.
with the community. Okay.
We need people to volunteer now.
Okay.
And,
Yeah, well, that's why you exist.
Right,
The education
right.
and the furthering of the education. The idea is not just to teach you, but to teach the community.
And
that
we've
you're
actually,
in.
as I said, we've grown the program to 20, but the more we get our name out, the more requests we're getting.
Oh, well, that's a good
So-
thing. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Occasionally we'll get a request to do a talk at a church or a
Right.
group of
Yeah.
people interested in various things.
Yeah.
Is there a list of anywhere of what you're able to do or provide services?
I don't think we've ever put together a formal list.
I mean, just for example, I knew you could go down and get a soil sample done.
Yeah.
And
Through the
I
extension
did
office,
that this
yeah.
year. You could
Now
take, they give you a bag, you buy the bag, and then you go home and put your soil in it and send it in, and then they send you the results of it. I mean,
Right.
I don't know whether people know, little things like that you guys do.
Yeah. The soil tests are at the extension office. There's two ways. There's a brown bag you can take home and fill out the application and then send a check with it, or you can purchase the whole kit at the office. And the results are really helpful, and sometimes we help people interpret those results.
Yeah.
That's a big
Well,
help.
it told me I needed things that I had never heard of.
Yeah.
And I went back and they said,
they-
just use this, and
I
this.
really
and it
don't
was-
think people understand how important that is. Because I have talked to people who just say, oh no, every year I just put all this lime on my grass. Well, does it need it?
Yeah.
And people who want to initiate a garden, they don't know what they're starting with.
Yeah.
I had a friend who moved from Penn Hills out to Cranberry, and he went and he put sand and compost and mulch and I forget what all into there. And by the time he put all that expense into it, he may not have needed it.
Right.
And its soil test is $10.
Yeah.
So it's
And
something.
when I first put my garden in, it was fantastic. We just tilled it up, and then it seemed to get less and
Well,
less
you
and
were-
less
it was
every
eating
year.
it, they were
and when I
absorbing
did
the
the soil
nutrient.
sample, we had just taken too much out of it.
And people don't realize that, especially with raised beds. My brother built
Yes.
beautiful raised beds, and third year he said, I can't get anything to grow. Well, all the nutrients
It's
are
gone.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
So how long did the dirt or whatever you use
Soil.
in a raised bed last? Couple years.
Well,
Well, it
He's-
depends on what you're growing, partially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're hungrier feeders than others, but he said he was at 3 years and was getting very little.
Well, you guys have just been. My head's full.
Yes, there's a lot there.
And I know that there's more to come, I'm sure. So we really appreciate your coming and sharing all this information with us, your own stories, and the advantages of having a Master Gardener program in our county, and those who are interested in participating in that. So that's good. We'll make sure that your phone number and contact information is listed on our website.
I just want to let everybody know, too, that the hours at the extension have been cut because of budget cuts. And
Okay.
we're open Tuesday to Thursday, 8:30 to 3:30.
Tuesday through Thursday, 8:30 to 3:30. Okay.
And that's uptown in Waynesburg.
Where it's up in.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I jokingly say under the corner.
Under the corner. All right, so we like to have a little fun with every podcast, and we're gonna again put you guys on the spot this time. We call this our lightning round.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, TR's gonna help me with this. Why don't you go ahead and ask them those questions there that see how they respond. Give one to each of them.
Okay, we'll do Cheryl first. What is the worst garden enemy? Deer, groundhog, insects, or those dosh darn pesky weeds?
Okay,
All of
it's
the
a
above.
Yeah, or all the above. Yeah.
And sometimes the gardener himself.
Yes.
If my dad always said, plant more.
Plant more so that
Plant
you
more
can feed
because
more.
somebody,
Something's gonna
some
eat.
animals are going to take them. So
Well,
plant more.
if the animals don't, the food bank accepts it.
Okay, John, let's see. What would you choose to only grow in your garden for the rest of your life if you had to pick one thing? Flowers or food?
It's tough because I love both. Well, some flowers you can eat.
Oh, there you go, an edible
you go.
flower.
Probably it would be gardening vegetables. Yeah, as much as
Mine
I
too.
like to
That's
eat
my
flowers, I don't love all of them. So,
Yeah.
but I love tomatoes and beans.
I did put a large flower garden in this year. It's just beautiful. I mean, it has taken off. It's just, and the hummingbird.
Oh,
and the
yeah,
bees
Support
and
those
everything.
pollinators.
There you go,
It's
yeah.
doing well. Okay, we'll go back to Cheryl. What's the single most misunderstood plant or weed in Greene County?
Okay.
What's that mean? That it's
I'd
good?
say it's those weeds that you can eat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I'm not sure
that's a
exactly
good
what
one.
that means.
Yeah, I think one of the more dangerous things is mushrooms, because there's so many of them that are poisonous, and
Yes.
people just think they can go and pick them.
Yeah.
And I noticed, I don't know why, because the grass isn't that wet, but I noticed a couple mushrooms in my lawn right now.
I did do well with the morels this year.
Did you?
Did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
we did
Good.
find some of those. That was fun.
So now we know who to ask. Take
Oh,
mushrooming
that's a
with
big
us.
secret. We
Yeah,
don't give those.
I know.
We don't give that out.
It's not going to give away anything.
And the last one. What's your favorite crop or flower to harvest?
To harvest.
I think
Okay.
you've already said tomatoes is your.
Yeah, I like potatoes too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you get them harvested all at once, or if you want to, you can do it any way you
Or
want.
sometimes
but-
you can cheat and dig up and get the little baby potatoes.
Yeah, you can do that early. Yeah.
Get those boiled up, yeah.
Graveling, my father-in-law called
Yeah.
that graveling for potatoes.
Now, you talked earlier, Cheryl, about people really not knowing what to do when they start out with a garden. Maybe not know. What do you do? What's your best advice for someone who thinks they may have a black thumb as opposed to a green thumb?
Well, if they want to do a vegetable garden, number one, start small, and don't overwhelm yourself.
Yeah.
I would suggest attending our Seed to Supper program. That's a 6-week program, and its first class is planning your garden, and then we talk for a whole hour on planning a garden because we don't want people to get discouraged.
Did you say planning?
Planning.
Not planting, but planning. Yeah.
Second is soil.
Yeah.
The third class is planting a garden.
Yeah.
The fourth class is caring for a garden. The fifth class is harvesting. And the sixth class, we actually talk about cooking it and using it.
Nice.
Wonderful.
So
What's
if
the
it
name
be-
of that class?
Yeah.
It's called Seed to Supper.
Sign him up.
Yeah,
And we
does that
usually
sound like
offer
one.
them in the spring because that's when people are starting to really
Right.
think
Right.
about it, and we don't want them to get started on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful
and
little.
if people are interested, they can contact Bowlby Library or Corner Cupboard Food Bank in the spring, and they'll tell them when the class is.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Sorry. Cool.
Well, that's all on the questions.
Yeah.
for that,
Well, you guys
but,
did pretty good, I'd say. Yeah. And we sure have enjoyed having you here.
Well, thank you for having us.
It's been a
Yes.
pleasure. We really want to get the word out about our program because I think more people are unaware of it, are unaware of what the extension does, and would like to volunteer in the community.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you, TR,
Oh,
for
my
co-hosting
pleasure.
with me. And folks, thank you for listening. Those of you that are out there, potential gardeners, now you know where to go and what to do. And we ask you to stay tuned for the next GreeneScene Podcast. We'll have fun together.